we're going to have an amazing star. So I first got to know this amazing lady. You know, in Malaysia, everybody is like, what, 5'4", 5'5", you know, even guys are like, you know, 5'7", you know. So when I first saw this lady, wow, okay. And of course, I first met her, I think it was it 2 years ago, Karen? 2 years ago?
Yeah, it was February 2023.
Yeah, 2023. Oh, it was last year.
Yeah.
Okay, early last year. I still remember Karen, Megan, Lisa came over to our event. And yeah, we had a good time and brought all of them up to my nice villa up in Cameron Highlands. And, you know, in Malaysia, we are summer like 365 days a year. And every time when we go up to Cameron, you know, sometimes we feel the chill. But she told me it's like, this is our summer, you know. Cameron Highland is our winter, but this is summer to her. So yeah, that's the beauty when you are in a community, when you are in a platform where you have people from all over the world. So I'm so blessed to be able to connect with her because not only she's an amazing lady, but when I listen to her story, you know, from where she come from, I'll let her tell you herself, where she come from, what she's gone through. And from that unimaginable beginning, she's able to transform to where she is today. Guys, just like what Charger mentioned, you better be taking notes. And this is going to even strengthen your confidence level. It's going to strengthen your awareness that you are in the right platform. If somebody like Karen can do it and be where she is today, I'm very sure all of us can do it. All right. So without further ado, guys, let's all put our hands together. And firstly, before I welcome her, firstly, Karen, I'd like to say on behalf of Kangen Power Team and on behalf of everybody that will be watching this, because this will be replayed on YouTube. So there will be many, many, many more people that will be seeing this video from now on. Firstly, I'd like to say thank you for your generous acceptance of this interview. Thank you for wanting to share whatever that you have to share today that I'm very sure will definitely touch somebody somewhere out there. Okay, so thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And guys, without further ado, let's all put our hands together and welcome the amazing lady all the way from UK, none other than Karen Gallagher. Yahoo! Hi, Karen.
Oh, thank you so much. Hello. Thank you so much, Gary. Honestly, I feel absolutely honored to be on here. When you first reached out and asked me, I was like, oh my goodness, yes. Like, how could I not say no? How could I not say it? Like, yeah, absolutely. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. You know, I absolutely love you so much. Your whole community, everything that me and Meg experienced when we were over visiting you for that time was just like, it changed our lives, our perspectives of the business and everything. So yes, thank you so much. It was amazing.
Thank you. So, Karen, yeah, I remember we had so much talk, you know, while you were in Malaysia. And yeah, I remember, yeah, now I remember the three of y'all, Lisa, you, Megan, y'all were crying in my car. I can still remember that. I was like, whoa, wow, my speech must be very emotional.
We cried a lot.
Yeah, that's true. But
happy tears though. They were happy tears.
Yes, that's true. So, Karen, because you see this part of the world, internet adoption for our business is pretty low. And a lot of people are very curious and like very interested to know how you guys are like, you know, rocking the world, changing everybody through the Kangen platform and through the internet, which is such a perfect combination. Kangen being one of the best financial freedom platform in the world, coupled with the best marketing platform called the internet. Boom, you guys are just, you know, burning everywhere you guys are going, right? So, but before we go to that part of the conversation, Karen, give us an idea, what was life like before Enagic? Like before you found Enagic, yeah.
very, very different as to what it is today. So I came from a military background. I had spent some time in the military as a medic, and then I worked full time. I was a mum, I was a wife, I was a, just your average mum.
Okay.
And I never had enough money to kind of make ends meet every month. And then I went through a divorce, and then that's when I realized I needed to find another way of making money to support myself and my children.
Okay.
And I just kind of stumbled across the internet and came across an advert,
Wow.
and that was Lisa's advert. I reached out to her, and then I did ghost her for 6 months because I was scared of the
Yeah, exactly.
and then when she was messaging me and voice noting me, and I was like, oh sugar, this is like a real person, she's actually real. So yeah, after some time of me kind of having a little bit of faith in myself, but also
Okay.
having faith in who I was speaking to, that this opportunity was real, because yes, there are a lot of scams and things that we need to be aware of online, but
Right.
there was just something there that made me realize that this is a real opportunity.
Okay.
And then when I started to learn about the opportunity, I learned about the products. It was like, I need this. It might have taken me 6 months initially to kind of get going and build the conversation and build a relationship with Lisa. But after that was there, when I then saw the business blueprint and learned about the products and the power of the product, then I was like, I really need these in my life. It's not just going to improve my health and my family's health, but also give me the financial backing and financial future that I was looking to build for my kids.
Right. So before Enagic, you have no prior experience in doing business or running a business or getting involved in any network marketing, affiliate marketing, nothing of that?
So I ran a business when my kids were like babies. I ran a child minding business. So I used to look after other people's. Very different to what this is, right? So that was that was absolutely nothing like what this is.
Right.
And previous to Kangen, I had done 6 months of low ticket. So when I did low ticket, it just didn't sit well with me. I was like, how can £8 commission ever give me the life that I want to have and have the freedom, the financial freedom, time freedom, all this kind of stuff that I was looking for? And it was constantly, I felt I was constantly pushing this cheap product to everybody, and it was very friends, family, always, and it just didn't sit well with me. So obviously when I found Kangen and Enagic, I was like, okay,
that was the missing link.
Hey, there we go. There we go. I'm in. I'm all in. And this was exactly the missing link. That was exactly it. So very different. But again, when I did low ticket, it was marketed very differently. Obviously now within the internet and the way we do things within Enagic is super easy. It's super quick. It's super fast. And you don't have the pestering of friends and family kind of thing for sort of low ticket products like perfumes and stuff that I was selling. So yeah, it just changed the game for me completely.
Right. So you were saying that you went through a certain dark time in your life before you found Enagic. And so when you found Enagic, obviously through Lisa's advertisement on, is it on Facebook?
On Instagram it was.
Oh, Instagram, okay. So do you have issues coming out with the money for that investment, or was it it's okay, no problem, trifecta, quad, it's okay,
Do you know the initial fear factor for me was the way we do it is you pay £77 initially. I'm not sure what that transfers across to in Malaysian currency, but we pay £77 to access some training to find out what the opportunity is. So to me, because I had just gone through a divorce, I didn't have a lot of money, even for me to pay £77 initially, I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. It's like, this is quite scary. I'm giving my money to a complete stranger here. But as I said, when the relationship built and grew and I had more conversations, I had a chat with my partner who supported me and always has supported me since the very beginning. And he was like, it's okay, you can do this. So that was a bigger fear than investing in the product, because I'd seen the product, I'd researched the product, I knew what the product was, I'd watched the blueprint, I saw the power of the water. Then investing into it that way did not faze me at all.
Right. So you actually paid 77, and then you got into the learning part, and then you found out about Enagic from that 77, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And it was only after 6 months later that you paid the 77.
Yeah.
Right? Wow. Guys, I want you to see this because a lot of y'all are telling me that, hey, Gary, I've thrown this ad, I've done this video, I've done this posting. Hey, no response. 6 months. Come on, if you
Yeah.
last 6 months, you probably get a Karen in your group. Come on. So
Yeah.
wow, that's a really good point to remember. Thanks for reminding us that. Because a lot
And
of
do you know what it was? After 6 months, I had watched Lisa's journey on Instagram. So I'd watched her grow on social media. I'd watched her leave her job. I'd watched her start traveling the world. I'd seen her grow in herself as a person. And I was like, what the hell is this girl doing? Like, I need some of this. So I messaged back out and I messaged Lisa and I was like, hey, I'm back now. Can we have a call?
Okay.
And then that was it.
So you actually got back to her. She wasn't like pushing you to get into the program, right?
No, she'd messaged me a few times, but then she gave up on me because I was ignoring her, right?
Right. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, it's interesting because a lot of us here in Asia, we are like, how does a stranger actually come into the platform and actually come into a trifecta? Because when we were in Okinawa, we met a lot of strangers, Kangen strangers. Honestly, you know, then like some are young as 22 years old, 25, and we asked them, you know, like, you how did you get into Enagic? Oh, I saw an ad, and then you came in. Oh, I came in with a quad. Like, wow, wow. Like you know, well, I need to go to Europe or something like this. Okay, that's amazing. Yeah. So from the beginning that you started, did you, okay, the question here is a lot of people asking is, do you need to have internet marketing or social media skills to be able to do what you guys are doing online with Kangen?
No, I had no idea. I had never used social media in that way. I had never run adverts. I had never run this type of business or anything before. So I was completely clueless as to how any of this worked. So because of the training that we have, you get told everything. So it's like a 7-year-old could work through the training and set it all up and create an advert and push it out and speak to people. And I think the key thing is that if you can hold a conversation, which most people can, then you can speak to leads. You can speak to people about the opportunity, the business, the product, you know, whatever that may be. And it's just building relationships. And the beauty of the internet is you can connect and find people that are just like you. So generally, everybody's downline is like a replica of them. You know, they want the same thing, they have the same interests and all that kind of stuff. So it makes it really fun how you get to connect with complete strangers. And then they just become like your best friends. Me and Megan have been in business like since the beginning together, and we've been accountability partners. We would never have crossed paths if it wasn't for this business. So, you know, we are super grateful for that.
So Megan also found you online, like total stranger?
Lisa. So Megan came through Lisa, and then Lisa put Megan together. Yeah.
Okay. So this platform actually connects all of y'all together, right?
Yeah.
Amazing. Wow. Okay, so the other question that a lot of people ask about social media marketing with Kangen is because somebody was saying that you need to be very consistent, you know, you need to be very consistent. So some people are like, you know, can I do this like every day? Do I need to post a video 3 times a day, every day? Or what's your take on that? Like, do you do it every day or how?
I do it. I mean, now, because I'm obviously 3 years into my journey, I don't do it every single day. Like when I'm away or I'm busy, you know, sometimes I'll take a few days out, but I'll always keep my stories active. If you keep your stories active. So we always say to people, like, your social media page, your Instagram page is predominantly where I work. So that's your shop front. So if your shop front is open, people they know you're there, right? So they know they can come in, they can come into your inbox, they can chat to you, they can see what you're doing, they can watch your journey and see how much your life changes. And then I only ever did one post a day. So I would post, you know, something on there. I'd put a little bit of context on there, get people to kind of get to know you, and you build that know, like, trust through your social media. And then people will engage in your content and you engage in their content, and it just kind of flows really nicely. But when you initially start, it does feel like, oh my goodness, can I do this every day? Because what do I post? But again, we teach you, we help you, we show you. So everything's done. So, you know, to post like 5 stories a day, share a little bit about business, a little bit about your life, and then just 1 post a day. That's all you need to do. But the consistency is really important. Like, you have to show up every single day. You couldn't like post 1 day a week and then still expect to kind of find you and be like, oh, Gary's here this week, but now he's not again. It's like, but I really liked what Gary did. How do I find him? And then they have to wait for you to come back in their feed if they don't already follow you. So you want to keep in front of their eyes.
Right. Just like what you say is very true. It's like today, your Instagram page or your Instagram story is just like your storefront, right? So if you are not opening a shop, and if somebody wants to buy from you, there's no way, because your shop is not open.
Yes,
Simple as that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so when you first got to know about Enagic, did you come in actually from the freedom, trying to make a financial freedom for yourself, or was it more for the health benefits from what the product can do for you? What was your initial entry to Enagic?
Yeah, initially it was for the finances, obviously, because as I said, I'd gone through a divorce, I needed more money. But when I watched the business blueprint and I learned about the products, then it was both. So I wanted them both in my life. So yeah, absolutely.
Right. And since now you have been doing this business for the last 3 years, do you think this business is affordable for everybody in the world? What do you think?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I think the beauty of it is we have so many different packages and so many places that people can start. If you can't afford a trifecta or a quad, that doesn't make any difference. If you want to start with just 1 product, be it the Anespa or the K8 or the SD501 or the Ukon, whatever that may be, you're still starting your business, right? You still have a business, you still experience the products. And I have so many of my team within our community that have come in with 1 product, and they have finance through Enagic, which makes it so affordable for everybody. And then they can upgrade as time goes along. So if somebody is a little bit maybe disheartened that they can't afford the quad, then it's absolutely fine. You can still start with 1 product and you can build that up. So once you start to make sales, you can then build your own package to a quad package. Which I love having that ability to do that.
Based on your experience, in your team or the people that join you, mostly come in with what kind of packages? What kind of?
I have a mixture. They come in with whatever feels right for them, and whatever will suit their financial situation. So I let them explain to me what their financial situation is, but I also ask them, what would you like to start with? So then we can kind of have a bit of a conversation, and then I can find a package that's strategically going to work out for them and without them putting themselves into any financial difficulty by starting a business. So yeah, we have a lot of in-depth conversations about finances, which I think is really important. And it's really important for me to ensure anybody that's coming into the business that, you know, I'm not here to like scam you. I'm not here to take your money and run. I'm not going to just, you know, let you start a business and not support you. I am a very heart-led, hands-on mentor. I love to be there for my team. Hence why me and Megan have just created our own community after 3 years, and we're making more offline events and we're doing more offline to support the team. And to me, that's really important. And to Meg, obviously, because we are pretty much the same person as we've grown in this business together. So yeah, it's really important for me to have that proper connection and actually get to know who I'm working with for like the rest of my life. Right.
Just out of curiosity, the people where you come from, are they okay with business like network marketing, or they are like, you know, some people they think that network marketing is a type of scam or something like that? What's the general perception of our type of business where you come from?
I think it depends on how you put it across, how you explain it to somebody. So yes, it's network marketing, but it's very important to explain it in the correct way. So, you know, we're not a pyramid scheme. We're not so much the typical MLM. We're in direct sales. So it is very different, and I think it's really important for them to understand the difference between your kind of scam network marketing, pyramid schemes, and such like that are there. But generally, most people come in and they kind of know what it is because we're quite upfront with them.
Okay, and I guess what helps is what you guys have been posting consistently on social media. Everybody can see what's happening in your life, what other people are doing, and all that, right? There's a lot of social proof. Right. Right.
And more so as well, like the same as you, Gary, when you have all the offline meets and then you share that on your social media, then that's when people see that it's really real and that we do go and meet up. And then I was just in Scotland recently, and Jenny is on my team. She's on this call here, and we met up with some more of the team up there. And, that just solidifies the sort of the reality in people that they need to kind of be aware of, because people need to see, they're visual, aren't they? So they need to see, instead of just being told it happens, they need to be able to kind of see it for themselves. Right.
So Karen, tell us, if let's say there's a new person here on board, okay, just join, bought the first trifecta maybe, what they need to do, to get started, to see some success in their Enagic business? What's your advice for them?
To follow the training that we have is like the simplest thing that you can do, and work through it. But again, you have to be consistent with that. So, do a little bit of the training every single day and remain coachable, be a student, and listen to your mentors. But one of the biggest pieces of advice I would always say to people is, never be scared to reach out and ask a question, because there's no such thing as a stupid question, because probably 99.9% of us that start in this business don't have a clue what we're doing in the beginning. So if that's how I was in the beginning, and how a lot of people are, but yet we can make it a success, then it reassures them that it's actually okay to come in at the beginning with no knowledge, no experience, but with the security of knowing that you've got a mentor that's there for you, and you've got a community that's there for you, and you've got a training platform to follow, and then you will build a successful business that way. So yeah. Okay,
let's take you as an example. When obviously when you started, you didn't like jump into this full time, right? You were still having your regular job, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So how did you juggle? Like, what's your average day looks like? How did you juggle between having a regular job and still doing Kangen? How do you juggle that? Yeah.
So, for me, I'm always up early. So I love to get up at 5. I read the 5 a.m. club book and just solidified again. It's like 5 a.m. is the time to get up and do stuff. So I would get up at 5. I actually set up a silent accountability 5 a.m. call as I started to grow my team, and we would all jump on together and do 2 hours of business before we went to work. And then we'd do our day job, do whatever we needed to do around the house, family, kids, whatever, and then do another hour or 2 at nighttime. And then that was it. So just finding that routine of what works for you, what works for everybody else. And then it kind of like what I've done has rippled through my team. So they now all do the same, which is, that's their choice. But it's so amazing to see that they're doing that and, getting results and stuff as well. So yeah, it's finding the pockets of time that work around your day. Like I always say as well, finding toilet time is for me was really important. So when I was at work and I would nip to the toilet, I would stay in the toilet for another 10 minutes and send some messages. Or, I would go to the toilet a little bit more than I normally would to send some spare messages, So it's like finding these little pockets of time to really, really get your business off the ground as fast as you can in the beginning. And then you can tell stories like this, and it's funny, and people ask you like, what is toilet time? And then you explain it and they just laugh at you. But it's like everything in life, you've got to do what you have to do to make a success of what you want. And if you don't, and you sit back and procrastinate, you're never going to get to where you want to be. So
yeah, I guess you hit the spot right on. Like a lot of people just like to give an easy way out by saying, I don't have time, or I'm so busy with this, I've my kids, I've got this and that. But come on, like you just mentioned toilet time. You don't have time to go to the toilet. so simple, right? Yeah. So at the end of the day, is like sometimes what I like to tell a lot of my team members is, do you want to do it or not? If you want to do it, no excuse. If you don't want to do it, then plenty of excuses, right?
Yeah, and another great thing I used to do, when you habit stack and time block, that's great. So if you have like say if you're working through the training and you know you've got this half-hour video to watch, then block off that time, silence everything else off, and really get focused in that. And then it's like, so the gym is a big thing for me. I love going to the gym, going outside and doing stuff. And I would listen to a podcast. So I would stop listening to music and I would listen to a podcast that was business related while I was in the gym or while I was going for a walk or while I was driving. And you're getting, a couple of tasks done at one time. So again, you find these pockets of time, and instead of going home and sitting and watching the telly, then I would do some training or whatever was relatable to the business to make it go faster. Because the reason why I came here, the reason why I'm here, is for my children. So I was never going to use them as an excuse not to do it. Like, they were my reason why, not my reason not to.
Yeah. So they are your motivation to do it, not the reason why you should not do it because of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. So Karen, I remember when I first met you, Lisa, and Megan, and I remember you all were telling me that when somebody in the early days, when, let's say I'm a new member, I join you, and then I come to you and then I said, hey, I don't have results in my Enagic business, and you all will be asking me like, how much do I pay on my ads? Like, my KPI will be based on my ads, like how much I spend on ads. Do you guys still do a lot of paid ads on your social media thing?
Yeah, we do. We recommend everybody to run paid ads when they come in, if the budget is there for them. But if they don't have a budget, then we would teach them to do organic messaging and organic marketing. But yeah, to run a really simple, good ad on Facebook, you can do it as little as £5 a day. Again, I'm not sure what that translates across to Malaysian money, but you get a good return, and the majority of people that are in the online space all start at £5 a day for an advert. And then obviously as your business grows and you get more money, you can obviously put more money into that. Right.
So I'm just curious, Karen, like, from the time you start and like you invested in the Enagic business, from the time you start till you get your first member, like the first person who signed up from you, how long did it take you to reach that, like the first member who signed up?
My first member actually is Jenny. She's on this call here. So it took 4 months after me starting for Jenny to then. So me and Jenny actually went to school together, believe it or not. We went to school together a long time ago, and Jenny was watching my social media. So it was more organic marketing, really. So she was curious as to what I was doing. Jenny reached out to me. We met for a coffee. I went through everything with her, and then she was like, she wanted in as well. So that was it was amazing.
So it took you 4 months. 4 months of every day, plus minus about £5 a day, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow, guys, can you see that? 4 months. 4 months, that means every day with no results for 4 months. And you guys are just like 1 week and say this don't work. So guys, remember, you have to keep putting in, because you never know who is watching, and you never know what's going on in their life. Probably the first month they're not ready, the second month they're ready, right? So wow, that's amazing. And how long did it take you to become a 6A in the Enagic business?
So I quit my job when I was 5A, and that was after 18 months of starting. And then I was March, so that's 27 months, so just over 2 years before I hit 6A.
Okay. And purely your business is done online, right?
I've started going offline a little bit now, so I'm like I'm loaning out my machine and everything to people now and doing water demos and stuff. So I've built my business purely online right up until now, and then now just this month I've started going offline with stuff. So I'm learning your world, and I'm really excited to take it offline as well.
Yeah, exactly. And very soon you'll be a 6A too, right?
Yes.
Amazing. So let's just say since you are also in the offline, let's just say I sit next to you in an airplane, and then we start chatting. How would you introduce Kangen to me? Or how do you, let's say I were to ask you a question like, okay, hey, Karen, by the way, wow, you're telling me you travel here and there, you have all the time freedom, you know. So Karen, what do you do? You know, if let's say I ask you a question like that, how would you introduce what's your career like?
Yeah, so this one comes up a lot actually, and a lot of the team asks this question. So I always relate it to whatever the kind of conversation was like a little bit. And I just say to them, you know, I partner with a Japanese company. I distribute water ionizers, which allows me to make an incredibly good income and gives me the freedom to travel all over the world as and when I choose to. And then they're like, oh, water ionizers, and it sparks more of a conversation. So I think initially in the beginning I didn't really know what to say or how to sell it, and I didn't really know enough about the product to talk about the product. So now obviously I'm further down my journey, I've learned a lot, and you know, I've grown in confidence enough a lot as well. So yeah, I will happily share. And then if they're really curious, I'm like, oh yeah, I can do a water demo, I can show you a water demo, or send them a video of a water demo and they can watch that, and then just go from there really.
Wow. Yeah. Sometimes we tend to we tend to how should I say? Sometimes it really depends on how the conversation works, whether we are coming from the health part, from the finance part, you know, from the freedom part. It also depends on what the person is really interested in, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I'm just curious. Mainly your team members on board in your community, are they slightly older generation, younger people, or
I have a mixture. So my team are from 24 to 52.
okay?
So
Okay.
yeah, I
So
mixed it.
right. I guess majority of them are also in it for the freedom, for the financial benefits of Enagic, right?
Yeah, sure.
Wow, amazing. Fantastic. Okay, Karen, let's just say you get a chance to go back, okay, with whatever you know, with everything that you know about Enagic, about success, about internet marketing, social media, right now that you know, and you get a chance to go back to day one. What would you do differently if you get a chance to replay day one in your Enagic business?
I would probably go offline faster.
Okay.
And do a hybrid model from the beginning. So I would do my ads, I would do my social media. I would like to think if I was to rewind time and go back there, I would take my own confidence with me so that I wouldn't shy away on social media, because I did do that a lot in the beginning. I was very nervous, I was very underconfident, I didn't speak on my stories, I didn't really show my true self. And that's something I've built along my journey. But yeah, I would be very, very active on my social media, probably more so, not too much, but just more than what I was in the beginning. I would still run my ads, and I would talk more about the business opportunity on a one-to-one offline situation.
Why go back to offline when you're already getting a lot of results from the online world, right?
Because if you can have both, then I think it's so much better. You do get people that come into it that don't want to work on social media. They don't want to show their face on social media. And a lot of people, I think, since COVID times, have really started to miss that sort of human connection. So for me, it's really important. Then, you know, always being through a screen with somebody is having the opportunity to actually meet up in person and just have a conversation and a coffee. And I like to speak to people. I like to meet people. And come together and build friendships. I think when you have that energy offline, it's very, very different than it is in the online space.
Yeah, true. Like sometimes, you know, no matter how amazing the energy is, you are always, you know, in between the screen, right? I remember you guys, I think after the Okinawa trip, you guys went diving in Okinawa, right? I saw some
we did.
Scuba diving photos. I even saw Megan and Michael, I think, was doing the diving there, right? Amazing.
It was great.
It's always this type of interaction that keeps us human, you know?
Definitely.
Fantastic.
Yeah, there's an element of that you do miss online for sure. So yeah, I would definitely start doing the both from the beginning, and I think it's a really nice way to be able to do it.
Do you still connect with your community? Like, do you still connect with Lisa offline, or it's more online nowadays?
Well, she's in Brazil right now, so we still have calls. I mean, we've just transitioned out of Liberated and into mine and Meg's community now called Flow First. So we're just transitioning across, but it doesn't make any difference. Friendship-wise, friendships are always still going to be there. We
Right,
do have a
right,
lot of calls online, but she is planning to come back to the UK possibly just before Christmas. So again, we'll still do lots of stuff in person, and we will still blend the communities depending on what events are going on. And then we have an
right,
event in Tenerife in February, so we'll see everybody there. So yeah.
right. How often do y'all do offline events in your community? Is it like once a year, twice a year?
Well, me and Meg have obviously just created our own community, and we're really keen to have as many as possible.
Okay.
So we're going to try and do maybe 2 or 3 a year, and that
Okay.
can, be whatever we choose it to be.
Right, right,
And we want to do a lot of stuff all over the UK initially within the first year.
right,
But also I want to try and encourage the team wherever they are to find another distributor close by and start working with them or meeting up for coffee and doing that kind of stuff. And a lot of my team are in Scotland, a lot of my team are in Cornwall, so
right.
it's like, okay, who's free today? I'm going to go and work here for a couple of hours and have a coffee, come along and just we'll do some work together. So
Right.
yeah, encouraging the more offline is great. I think it's really, really nice to have that.
Okay. Karen, I'm very sure after 3 years of doing this business, you have also people who come to you and say things like, the product is very expensive, or the business is too high, the price. How's your response to these people,
I
Like,
actually got asked that question just yesterday, actually. So yeah, so
okay,
I always say to them, okay, right, so yeah, the machine is €4,200. However, how much do you spend on Brita filters or filter systems for your water at home? How much do you spend on cleaning products a month? And how much do you spend on bottled water a month? So then I'll get them to add that up, and then I'll get them to times it by 25 years. And then I'll do a
oh,
price comparison.
right,
And
right,
then
right.
they're like, okay, wow, right.
Yeah.
So, and
And
then again, depends on how the conversation goes with what direction I take. But if somebody's like, oh, it's really expensive, I can't afford that, I'm like, okay, so what about if there was a way that we could make it affordable for you? And then I'll break down the finances of the machine and the finances that we get through Enagic that makes it really affordable. And then they're like, oh, okay, I can afford that.
right, right. I guess they just need to have a more clearer idea of what this thing is all about, right? Because
Yeah,
I think if a lot of people don't understand that the water in Kangen, the Kangen water is just totally different. It's not just a
yeah,
filtered water, like what you mentioned just now. If they were to add up all their bottled water and multiply that by 25, it probably will buy them maybe two or three Kangen machines.
yeah,
But
yeah,
at the same time, they won't even get anywhere near to a Kangen water quality, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So until and unless they know what they are getting into, then I'm sure the conversation will be different.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
very different. Yeah.
yeah. Amazing, amazing. So like in your community, how do you duplicate your leaders? Like, how do you get your people to be as motivated and as inspired like you, like willing to do whatever it takes to achieve their dreams? How does the duplication system works in your community?
I think I think if you lead well, people will follow and people will kind of copy the way you are. And if they see you succeed, they want to know how and why, and then they'll do it. But I mean, my community and my team are very self-motivated and driven. They've come in here, and we do a lot of mindset work at the beginning as to, if you know your why and your why is really deep setted and deep rooted inside you, then nothing's going to get in the way of that, and your why will always be there every single day. And I always say to my team, if your why doesn't make you cry, is it really the why? Is it really the reason why you're doing it? So ask yourself seven whys. Why are you here? Why are you doing it? Who are you doing it for? And keep going down that route until you get to the bottom of your true why. And then when that clicks, then that's when the dedication, the consistency, the drive, everything kind of powers up to a different level. But we also have weekly calls, so we're a very close-knit community. We talk a lot, not too much, but we have A lot of supportive chat going on every single day. We bring, whenever somebody new comes in, we give them somebody that is suited to them, and they have an accountability partner. That's exactly what happened to me and Meg. We were put together as accountability partners in the beginning. And I think if you can bounce off somebody that's got the same energy as you, and the same drive and the same vision and the same goals at the end of financial freedom, and you keep the energy high within the community, they're always going to be keeping going. They're always going to be wanting to go there. And then when you add in the offline events and the online events and all this kind of stuff, it's exciting and it keeps it fresh.
Right. I guess like what you mentioned is very very real. The motivation has to come from within that person. It's not something that we need to push them to work. I mean, this is not like a job where I'm a boss or you are the boss and you are getting your workers to work, right? So it's like everybody is just, frankly speaking, entrepreneurs doing their own thing. So if they are not driven, then it's them not driven. They have the driving force must be coming from them, rather than from an external factor of trying to push them to do it, right?
Yeah, and I think the other important thing I've learned along my lesson is that, you know, as much as some people may want this opportunity, I may not want to work with them because they haven't got the drive, they haven't got the passion, they haven't got the motivation. And now in my position in the business, I will say to somebody, like, I'm not sure this is right for you. If you want to come back to me in time when you feel that you have the time and the readiness to get started, then please feel free to reach back out at any moment in time. But I don't think right now this is for you. Whereas in the beginning, I didn't have the confidence to say that. So, you know, I don't want to be dragging somebody up the hill because they want their business to work. I want them to come in and run with their own business and get the success for themselves. And then for everybody else to be able to celebrate them and what they've done, and not just kind of drag their heels along, but kind of just said they want it, but they don't really show that they want it.
Okay. Have you said things like what you have just mentioned to the person who is not ready yet? And has they come back to you and said, okay, now I'm ready, now I want to do it? Has that happened in your group, in your community?
Yeah. Some people have come back. Yeah. And some people just need that time to get over the, like myself, get over the fear, the initial fear. Or, you know, I have a lot of people that come to me and they're like, I really want this, but I haven't got the money right now. Is it okay if I save and come back to you? And then they come back. So a lot of my team have done that as well.
Okay. So they like what you have to offer. They like everything about it, but maybe the time is not right. They don't have the money. So they actually come back later when they are more ready, right?
Yeah.
Then, okay, from the time that they said they are not ready, don't have the money, what do you do? How do you actually connect back with them? Is it like you just continue posting on your social media and they continue watching it, or do you actually send them follow-up messages, or how do you follow up with them?
I'll just check in with them like once a week, and then see where they're at, see if they want any support, if they want to jump on a call just to catch up, whatever. I kind of let them lead that part of it, so that they don't feel like I'm putting pressure on them. So I'm never going to put any pressure on anybody to get started until they're ready to get started financially. If somebody really wants it and I kind of feel that they're just making excuses, then I'll call them out on their excuses. But generally, if somebody is genuinely saving to get started, then I'll just do weekly check-ins, make sure they're okay, and just support them the best way I can, but also bring them in and make them feel part of the community.
Right. Amazing. Do you think, Karen, that self-development is an important factor in your success in your Enagic business?
Yes, definitely. When I started, I would not even put my camera on a Zoom call. So if I hadn't done personal development, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't have spoken on stage with you, Gary. Like, I wouldn't have done any of that. So yeah, it's massively important. Yeah.
And some people just have that idea or that notion that, you know, I'm here to make the money. So why bother about self-development? Well, if somebody were to tell you that, what would your advice be for them? Like, I'm just here for financial freedom. I just want to make money. Why are you telling me to develop myself? You know, What's
Do you know,
your advice to them?
it's just important to become the best version of you, so you can be the best leader for your team. And if you're not doing any personal development, then why should they feel that they can come in and work with you if you're just kind of showing up to be that greedy person that wants money? Because ultimately that's not what we're here for. We're here to help other people. So it's very important for me to work with people that have that like-mindedness of, we're here to serve and help. We're not here to take and just get. So it's very, very different. So it's a very different mindset. And I do you know what? I actually haven't worked with anybody that's been like that yet, that just wants money, money, money. So it's quite a difficult question for me to answer. But I imagine if somebody came to me, that's kind of how I would say to them. What we have is very special. We don't just have amazing products and an amazing business plan. We make the most amazing friendships and have the most amazing communities. So if you just had that one person that was just like, no, I want money, 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 and then they were like desperate for sales, and it would shift the whole energy of what we do, I think, and it just would knock everybody out of sync.
I think that person will not even last.
No.
Sayonara, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Okay, so Karen, since you mentioned that self-development is so important in our business, what are some advice you can give to, like, okay, put yourself as an example from somebody who's so shy, don't even want to show a face in the camera, don't even think about standing on stage to talk in front of a crowd. So what did you do to overcome all this and be the Karen that you are right now? What did you do?
So, I mean, a lot of mine was listening to podcasts, reading books, pushing myself to do the uncomfortable things that I didn't want to do. So, like, for an example, me and Meg would go live on Instagram together, and I was always the one that would never push the button. I used to always message Megan and say, Meg, can you push the button first and then I'll come on? And now I can push a live and I can do it, and I can, I can quite confidently go and do all that kind of stuff. But you have to push through the really uncomfortable stuff. So if there's anything that that kind of like is like a roadblock and you can kind of get to that point but you can't get through it, look that little bit deeper and try and figure out what that is, what is underlying that's stopping you push through that to get to where you want to be. Because we're all capable of it, but it's we keep ourselves safe, and our brain will keep ourselves safe all the time. So when we feel the uncomfortableness of doing something that we don't want to do, we get nervous, we feel sick, we are like, I was on stage, my whole body was shaking, I had a dry mouth. But actually, when you push yourself through to do all these things that's scary, when you come out the other end of it, and you're like, oh my God, that was amazing because I did it. It's like somebody going to the gym for the first time. You want to have the muscles or the six-pack, or you just want to be fit and healthy, but you're scared to go to the gym because you either don't know what you're doing, exact same as I was in the business. I didn't have a clue what I was doing, but it's pushing past every single fear and becoming the best version of you, to be able to ask the questions and understand the training and build your friendships and build your network and build your relationships, to develop your network. But while you're doing that, also you're developing yourself. Okay.
So since you are on the topic of like you were very shy to put yourself on a video in the front of the camera, doing a live video. So if somebody wants to do Kangen on social media, on the internet, and that person's entire challenge is, I'm just so shy, I don't want my face to be on video, on camera, can that person still do it? Or he must, whatever it is, push through and put his face on the camera? No,
not in the beginning. No, you don't have to show your face. You don't have to be that person. There's so many faceless marketers now that it really doesn't make a difference, as long as you're consistent, and you're consistent in your authenticity and what you speak about, and show your journey. And it can just be pictures. One of the girls in Harriet's community started the very same way. She was never ever had her face on social media, and she's grown a very successful business now, because along that journey she's built her confidence. And this is what happens with people. The confidence grows, and then you do become, okay, I'm going to put myself on camera just a little bit here and there, and then the more you do it, the more your confidence builds. So
because ultimately we are in a business of relationship, right? So
Yeah.
ultimately, people need to know who you are. I mean, it cannot be like this all the time. Then, hey, who are we following?
Yeah.
Who are we meeting? Who are we associating with, right? So I guess, yeah, in the beginning, you can still go like the faceless marketer strategy.
Yeah.
I think after some time, you somehow just need to show yourself. After all, it's not that scary anyway.
Yeah, and that becomes a natural progression, because what you find is when you become that in the business, and then you have partners, friends, accountability partners, etc., that will always be maybe the one that says, okay, right, we're going to do a live next week, do you fancy it? Or I'm looking to do a live with so many people in the community this week, can I have volunteers? Or somebody will just come and ask you. And even if you are scared and terrified, I think because you naturally grow within the business in a personal development way, that
Right.
you'll say yes. And once you've done that first live with somebody else, it's really not that bad. And then that kind of is a starting point for you having the confidence to show yourself more online.
Right. Yeah, so yeah, I still remember Lisa showed her journey, how she started. The whole video was upside down. I remember she did a video upside down, you know. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, everybody, guys, again, if you are watching this video, everybody, just like Karen, just like even me, you know, today you see me every day on live, on video. We started the same, you know, uncomfortable, butterfly in the stomach, you know, but keep doing it, and it's just like brushing your teeth, right? It's so
Yeah.
second nature after that. Yeah, so amazing. And okay, guys, are there any questions for Karen? This is your once in the lifetime opportunity to ask this amazing star today that we have. If you have any question, you can either type on the chat button there or raise your hand. Charger, you'll be able to spot them. You can unmute them. Ask whatever question you want to ask from Karen. She's been such an amazing star with us today. Karen, you were there in the Okinawa convention, right? Just a couple of months back. What do you think of Enagic as a company? And what do you think of the founders, Mr. and Mrs. Soshiro, from your own perspective?
Oh, do you know, my heart melts every time I think of Mr. O and his wife. They're so lovely. They're so beautiful. I saw Mr. O when I was in Vegas as well, and I love the compassion he has, and I love how he's always got his family around. His family were like taking up the whole stage, you know, and just I love how he always gives back. You know, he sources the farmers that work in the turmeric fields, and you know, he constantly gives back to everybody, and he's just a really humble gentleman.
Yes.
So
And
yeah.
this is one of those companies you want to be associated with like forever, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
You know what? I love how he plays his ukulele. I absolutely love that.
yeah, that's true. Very soon when you are dash 6, he will also present one to you. Amazing. Wow, fantastic. Guys, are there any questions for Karen? Charger, anybody has any question for Charger? Sorry, for Karen? Any? No questions? Okay, Bindi from Perth. Okay, Bindi from Perth has a question. Karen, is your team mostly made up of builders? How many percent of them are consumers? Yeah, this is a question a lot of people that are offline always wanted to know. Like generally, are your people in for the product, to use the product as a consumer, or mainly are they here to do the Kangen business? To get
they're all here as a builder. They're all here for the business.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess Karen, maybe one of the reasons why you guys are getting a lot more builders, that because your message is all about building a business, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess guys, if you really think about this, how the internet teams are doing is their messages out into the world is about the freedom, about the business, about you coming to do something to get this. It's not you are coming in to buy this and to get healthy. Yeah. So the message that you are sending out to the world will attract the different type of community that's going to come into your group. I guess
Yeah.
that's the reason, right?
Yeah. So yeah, we promote it as a business and a business opportunity that gives you the lifestyle that, obviously in the beginning you show a very true life. I showed the fact that I was working full time, I was building a business, I was doing all this, and then they watch your journey, and then all of a sudden I'm not working anymore and I'm full time online, and it's like, oh my goodness. Like, so it's all a little bit about like attraction marketing, really. That's how we do it. So we just share stories, we share our lives, we share calls, we share events, and we promote the business. So when we run adverts, we're running an advert for people that are looking for business opportunity.
Okay. And then in which part of the journey, or which part of the team training that you guys will talk about the product? Do y'all like go in depth about the product, like how does the water help in health testimonies? Do y'all do that, or none at all?
No, there's been absolutely none of that over the last 3 years. However, me and Megan are now building new platforms and new training, so that will change.
Okay.
So yeah, it's
Right.
not anything that we have discussed or spoken about until they have gone through the business blueprint and then they understand about the product. But initially we don't talk about it.
Do people actually call you or ask you questions about the health part of the business? No.
No, not really. No,
like, oh, my neighbor has diabetes. Can your water help that poor fellow with diabetes or something like that? No.
Yeah, no, because we market it very different. So we've never had that. I mean, people will, when they watch the blueprint and they learn a little bit about the product, they'll maybe ask some questions, but generally it's not much that we get.
Yeah. So again, guys, the message is loud and clear, because if you are promoting Enagic as a lifestyle freedom business, then you will get people who are looking for lifestyle freedom business, and their entire mission is to come in to build a lifestyle freedom business. But if for certain reason your message has something to do with diabetes, then you are definitely going to get people who are going to come in to talk about the water, the product, the health, so I'm sure you guys get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Thanks for clearing that for me, because I've been telling so many times, actually, even in our offline approach, this is exactly what I've been telling the people here. It's like, if your message is about business building, then the people that come is going to talk about everything about business building. There's no hint about the health. I mean, if you want a good product, I mean, this is the product, drink the water, that's it. No more talk about that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. From Yasin Kamali, which kind of social media we have to use? Like, I think the question is like, what social media platform that you use?
It's
mainly
entirely up to you, really. So I mostly market on Instagram. I do use Facebook now and again, but to run your social media business suite, you run that through Facebook. So Meta obviously owns all the platforms. So when you set up a Facebook business manager account, you can then connect your Facebook and Instagram, and then that's where you run all your adverts from.
Okay, but your ads is more on Facebook or more on IG?
I'm more on Instagram than Facebook, to be fair. But it depends. You can use any platform. You can put videos on YouTube about what it is that we do. You can run adverts on TikTok. You can put adverts on LinkedIn. I've known people do that. So it's just a personal choice as to where you feel more comfortable and where your audience kind of is, really.
Right. And from Balvinda Rajbans, also from Perth, what kind of stories do you share on social media personally for you?
So I share a little bit about business and a little bit about my day, and that's it, really. It's nothing. It's not anything to overcomplicate, if that makes sense. So whatever you do, like, right now, hopefully when we come off the double screen and Charger puts us back, we can see everybody. We'll take pictures and videos of this call and we'll share this on social media. I'll share a day of, sitting having a coffee with somebody, or the fact that I'm in a classroom learning something. It really doesn't matter what you share. It's just sharing your journey and sharing your day so people can get to know you, really.
Right. It's just like, it's just like, how should I say? It's just like you are there every day. So everybody is like, oh, Karen is doing this. Karen is doing that. Hey, Karen is growing. Karen is having this. I want that. I want that, you know?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So I guess also, again, it's another breakthrough. There are a lot of people who are very shy to show what they are doing. And also it's a habit thing, you know. I guess for this, you probably, for you yourself, Karen, you probably don't post any of what you are doing every day, right? Until now you start doing this, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. I wasn't active before the business. I would share the odd thing on my social media just so that I could keep up with friends and family. But certainly not as much as what I do now. So yeah, I certainly share a lot more. I'll put my
Right.
Instagram back, Gary, and then if anybody wants to give me a follow, then they can feel free and have a little look and just kind of see what kind of content I
Okay. Guys, you can follow Karen on her Instagram. Okay. So that's her Instagram link. Few more questions. Is that social media like a dream team, or it's different social media marketing to use for our business? Do you know what she's asking? Is that a social media like a dream team? Is social media marketing?
So
yeah.
I'm not really sure. Like we run it obviously within the community, and all our social media training is within our training platform.
Okay.
So everybody gets access to that when they start their business, so that they can build.
Like the one that Lisa showed, the liberated movement. That one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what we use.
Right. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So thank you so much for all those questions, guys. You have been amazing. And once again, Karen, thank you so much for sharing so much tips. Last question, last words from you. What's your advice to somebody who wants to achieve tremendous success like you in Enagic? What's your last advice for them?
Just show up every single day and just have your vision and your why planted so firmly in your heart that nothing will ever get in the way and nothing will ever stop you achieving that, because it's like the two men digging for diamonds. One gave up and the other one hit the diamonds. So never give up, because the day you give up is probably the day your success will come. So yeah, just keep going, because it's there for every single one of us, but the drive and determination needs to come from within you.
Yeah. And probably the person that gave up was just 1 inch towards the diamond.
Yeah.
Just 1 inch away.
Yeah. One more hit and he would have got the diamonds, but he gave up.
Yeah, amazing.